Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. So today we're going to be looking at how we're going to create notification posts both for success and both for error messages, so you can display your messages properly. So we have something like this, and you can use this to display your error, your success message. We can also have something like this. So we're going to learn how to do this, and we're going to also learn how to do this also. So without any further ado, let's get right in. Okay, so for the purpose of this course, I'm gonna be using code pen, so you can have access to the code thereafter. So I'm gonna drop the link to this code pen in my description, so you can go down and follow along, or you can simply grab the code and put it in your workspace in your own project, and you have it all running by yourself. So this is what we are creating. We are creating just this, and it's going to be very simple. It has few lines of just without this is just the only HTML we have to write, and it has a couple of CSS styling, and I'm not going to go through, I'm not going to type all this CSS file, but I'm going to explain all of them, what they are doing and how they are contributing. And so we are going to use JavaScript to optimize the process, to make it smooth, so you can plug in your work. Okay, so I'm going to delete everything here and write it all again from scratch so we can follow along. All right, so let's see. Now JavaScript is actually the one. Even if we remove this and and we still hit it, it's still gonna be working, okay, because JavaScript is the one still powering it. So we're going to remove everything from JavaScript. This is going to clear everything from here. Now if you click, nothing is going to be showing. Okay, so now let's go back to our HTML file and undo. Then so now nothing is still going to show, but let's give it a class of show. Now a class of show is going to show an error message. So if we say a class of success, if we give it a class of success, and success well spelled, it's going to give us this. So that's awesome. So if it's success, we have this. So these two things basically controls it. So what is this? This is the type of error, and this is to show. This is to display it. So if it is actually error or success, we can specify here. So but we don't want to be using HTML. It can really be nasty, if you have let's say about 5 pages you want to show this error message, like you want to implement this thing, you just be copying them around all the pages, and you could miss some things, you could miss some styling and all of that. But in this course, I'm gonna show you how to optimize everything with JavaScript, so you don't need to even write a single line. So we are not going to write a single line of HTML, so we're going to do all the writing with JavaScript, and it's going to be very few. Okay, so let's keep this so we can be looking at it, so we can know what we are going to be building. So we will be needing this ID, this class name, and everything else here. So for the CSS, we already have a CSS that is going to be styling it. So we have a toast. So this is the fonts we are using, Google fonts. The link is in the HTML. So this is a style. It is actually position object. We are positioning it here in the bottom, and so this is the color for the error. Well, we are setting the color for error. Anytime there's error, this is the color. It's kind of red. and we're also setting the color for the message and setting the color for the message too. Okay, so this is the success error, success message color, and this is also the message color. So screen down, this is the icon, this is icon, the little icon. Of course, this is a style you can follow along. It's very simple to understand. Now, if you are not very familiar, this is the animation part of it, and this is the animation part of it. I've tried to make it very simple as possible, so that anybody who do not have a good background with animation or keyframes can simply follow along and understand what we are doing. So when we add this class of show to these elements, then set the element to be visible, and we add the following animations. So we have about 4 animations here. We have fading, we have expand, we have stay, we have shrink, and we have fade out. So let's start with fading. So when we fade in from 0%, so it's just gonna come in from the bottom, then from 50% go all the way to the top, then come back to 30%. So if you're not familiar with keyframes, I have a video. You can do well to check my channel. There's a video on keyframes using CSS for keyframes animation. Okay, so this is the one for expanding it, and this is the one that is going to stay. So it's going to stay for the 350 pixels. Then when it is shrinking, it's going to start all the way from 350 and shrink all the way from to 50 pixels. Then it's going to fade out from here. So when it's fading out, so it's just going to go all the way to the bottom by 30 pixels, and of course go down and completely go off. So that is just basically it. So this style is going to be here. You can of course copy it and use it in your project. So but we're going to write the JavaScript from scratch to save time. Okay, so there's nothing here. We've cleared everything here because we want to write everything from scratch, and obviously there's nothing that is going to be working right now because we don't have this thing. So let's get in. Now we're going to have a JavaScript. So fine, so let's write a function. So let's write a function called toasts. We're just going to call it toasts function. Now this toast function is going to take up 2 parameters, the message parameter and the type. So because we want to make it dynamic, we want to make it fully dynamic. So now we need, oops, this is not really funny because we have to, okay, I guess this can stay like this. Okay, here we go, because we want to be seeing this and be getting exactly that here. So we're going to create this element, and that has this ID. Just copy the ID. So we're going to say const, we're going to say text, we're going to say toast box equals to document dot create elements. Now what elements? We're going to create a div. Now toast box dot id, we're going to give it an id of this, which is already styled id, and then we're going to give it a class. We're going to give it toast dot class. We're going to give it a class name of this. So I'm just gonna make this. Okay, so we're gonna give it a class. Okay, it has success, it has show, and all of that. Okay, so let's say this. Let's just say success. Let's just say success, and let's just say show, and let's just say toasts. Okay, so that is done. Now we're gonna dump all of this to the inner HTML. Then dot inner HTML string equals to this. We're gonna dump all of that, the remaining guys, because so we're gonna copy it. Okay, we are done creating this. Then let's copy this. Control C. Just gonna press this, and boom, we have everything down here. So we've finished. We are done creating our this thing. So let's see if it's gonna show. All right, now after that we have to append it to the body. So we're gonna say documents dot body. You can append this to anywhere. Dot body dot append child. What exactly are we appending? We're appending toast box that we created, and that'll be all. So we're gonna call this. So we already have an HTML, so we're already calling the toast function. Let's see if that is gonna work. So boom, we have it. Okay, so this is what we have here. So we have a div. So let's find out whether we've created our div properly. Okay, and message blah blah blah. Okay, all right, so let's see what we have here. So it's just keep creating it for us. So just hope we have created the exact style. We have used the exact style. This toast has to be like this. So toast was not spelled correctly. So boom, we are beginning to have something closer. So okay, so probably there's a closing tag that we've not closed, so we need to find it and close it, this guy here. So then let's take it one more time. So we have it. So we click on this. So we've not worked on the variants yet, so we're going to work on the variants now, so that it can show error, it can also show success. Now how do we work on the variants? Now if you look at this, it has not gone off, so we're going to work on the logic that is going to take it off. Okay, now so before we work on the variants, let's work on the logic that will take it off when it is done animating. So first we need something that will uniquely remove it from the DOM. So we're going to create a const. We're going to create a const here. We're going to call it an ID. ID equals to date. We're going to say date, capital letter D. Dot now we're going to create a unique, just randomly unique stuff, unique ID. So plus math.floor. Then inside the math.floor, we're going to pass in math.random. Random. Hope that's how it's spelled. Random. Here we go. Then we're going to divide that by 100 just to make it really random. Just to make it really random and unique. Okay, so what are we doing here? We are generating a timestamp, then generating a random number by this and multiplying it by this length of number, about 10,000 or 100 by 100,000 or something. Then this is going to give us some random figures like this, something like this. It's going to be weird, but fine. So we're going to use it. All right, so with that being done, now we can carefully come and remove it. Okay, so we're going to come down here. And now remove it. So we're going to say add, because let's look at it one more time. Now we click on it. Oh, it looks like there's an error on the page. I'm trying to find out. Can't find variable maths. Oh, maths. Okay, maths. Okay. I thought that was can't find variable maths. Oh, okay. So that's solved. Now, the CSS animation, when the CSS animation is done, it's trying to go out. Okay, so at this point it's supposed to go out. Alright, so let me save this because I might be forced to reload. So let's do it one more time. So let's do this. So at this point it stays, then goes off. So by the time the CSS animation is done animating and trying to fade out, JavaScript should pick it from there and take it off from the DOM. So let's do that. So we're going to add an event listing. Now we're going to listen to the end of the animation. So we're going to say, we're just going to select the post. We're going to say documents dot query selector. Let's just pick it from here. We're going to say, since we've given it an ID, okay, so because all of them are going to have the essence of this ID is so that we can use it to uniquely identify each of the records we are getting. Okay, so for this class name, for this toast, I'm going to append the ID to the toast here. I'm gonna append the ID to the toast here. So this is actually the class name. So this one is going to be static, while these ones are going to be dynamic. Okay, so these ones can come in and go out, but this is the actual class name for this guy. So at the end of the day, I'm going to have something like this with some numbers like this in the DOM. So this is what we are going to have. So we're going to select that toast, that's toast exactly like that, then append it with this ID, with the uniquely generated ID. Then once that is done, I'm gonna say add events listener. Okay, so what exactly are we listening to? Animation end. You need to spell it correctly, else it's not gonna work. So we are listening to the end of animation. We're gonna pass in an EA, that is the event. Then in this place we're gonna say documents. Okay, so there are several animations going on in here in the CSS, but we're just going to look out for only fade out. So once it fades out, so if e dot animation name is equals to fade out, we're looking at only for fade out. So that's because why we are doing that is because this very particular div has a couple of animations. So which one do you exactly want to listen to? So it has fading, it has expand, it has stay, it has shrink, it has fade out. So this is the last one. So immediately after he's done fading out, take it off. So we are going to listen to this last one, not any of this. So but this last one. Now let's go back. Okay, so we are here. So what are we going to do? We're going to say documents dot query selector, then I'm going to take it off now. Okay, we call it, this is how we call it. So we're going to say dot remove. that is it. Let me create some space. Okay, so now we select the current elements. Now we add an event listing, because those things need to be properly spelled, else they will not be working. So we add an event listener to them. Then we are listening to the last. We are listening to the last events. If it is fade out, then we now grab it and remove it. Okay, so that makes sense. Now let's see what is happening. Now looks like we have some error in the console. No, it's not. Okay, no, it's not an object. Evaluating this. Okay, dot this. All right. Okay, so just make sure that you append this before you take it off. So this line comes here. All right, so you've appended it to the DOM, and that is when you can access it. So let's try to remove it. So it comes in now, and let's see if it goes out. So it goes out very clean and very smooth. So it waits for the end of this and take it off. Now with that being done, we are going to now work on the type. So let's pass in a message and see if our message goes in. So we're going to go to our HTML. There's a message, but we are not collecting the message. So we are going to come here to this point and receive the message. Okay, so message has been received. So now we can have the message that is passed in from the function as we are calling it. Now let's work on variant. So the variant, so we're going to come here and look at this guy here. So we're going to make a logic here. So at this point, we're going to say, we're going to copy this, we're going to cut it out. So we're going to say if type is equals to success, because we want to be able to change the class names. So if type is equals to success, then we're going to display, let's just append this here. So if type is equals to success, we're going to do this, else if type is equals to error, that's going to be in a string. If it is equals to this, then we are going to display something else. So let's copy this. I'm gonna set it down to error. So error as usual, then still appending else if it is not, then we'll just show the best what we copied, but nothing is there. Okay, we'll just show we don't know any type, so there is no type, so it's going to default to the default type. So show and set this. Okay, so let's go. So let's look at it again. So if type is equals to success, make sure we are spelling this success very well. I'm using capital letter here because it's a keyword. So if type is equals to success, then show success. Now if type is equals to error, show error. Else just show. So it's gonna default back. So let's come here. Can you see we're having it clearly now. So let's come here. Now we're having this, but can you see the problem? We're still having X. We're still having the same X that is here in the error. So the X needs to change. The X needs to change to check marks. That's because the X is fixed here. So if you see something like check, all of them are going to carry the check mark. So even this is going to carry the check marks. Can you see? Because we've set it to check. So even this one here is going to carry the check marks because it is fixed. Now we're going to make a logic. We're going to make a similar logic like this that depends on this. So we're going to copy this. We're just going to come here. I'm going to say if type is equals to this. If type is success, then set it to check. Set it to check. Else, just leave it at times. Okay, so that will make it dynamic. So let's click on this. It's now working, and we click on this. It's now working. So congratulations, we've been able to create our dynamic error messages. So we can pass any error message. We can play around with it, and of course it's just gonna work as expected. Can you see? As just change. Okay, so we have this right in here. Okay, so that's beautiful. That's beautiful. So in our next, now this is very cool because you don't even need to write any HTML. You don't even need to write any HTML. So just have just one function and be calling it any way you want to show error message. Just say toast, passing your message and passing a type. So if there is no type, it's going to pick a default type. Okay, so that is cool. So in our next course, in our next tutorial, I'm going to show you how to do this. Okay, can you see this and this? So this one is adaptive, this one is adjustable, so it adjusts, so it can carry as many as and keep on going out. So stay tuned to my channel and make sure you subscribe so that you can keep getting tutorials like this. So thank you, see you in our next video.